Namaskar. Welcome to my 10-minute report. Yesterday was a very sad day in the history of India's Republic, that too on the Republic Day. But what is worse, my friends, is a rather stupid debate going on in media by the intellectual and secular journalists about how the flag hoisted by the domestic terrorists and urban naxals on the Red Fort is not the Khalistani flag but one with Nishan Sahib on it. A simple investigation, even by a child, can tell you that they all are bloody liars and accomplices in treason against India. Let me take you argument by argument. First, every Khalistani flag has the khanda. It's unfortunate for Sikhs' great spiritual heritage that these scoundrels have decided to humiliate their own spiritual gurus, many of them Sikhs themselves. So, to set the record straight, let's go through a lesson for everybody. As you can see on the screen, that two flags were hoisted on Red Fort yesterday on the Republic Day, a triangular yellow and a saffron flag. Now look at this flag, which was hoisted last year at Moga District's Deputy Commissioner's building on August 15, 2020. Yes, on our Independence Day. In fact, this wasn't the only Khalistani flag hoisted in Moga in August last year. As you can see, it was found also on the Panchayat Ghar there. Take a look. You will be shocked to know that these were the same flags used by Khalistanis on the Indian Embassy in Rome, Italy yesterday, yes, on our Republic Day. Now let me try to analyze for you why this argument of Khanda is absolutely wrong. Friends, no Sikh Guru ever carried any flag with the khanda on the Nishan Sahib, which is the sacred flag. During the times of Guru Amar Das, the Nishan Sahib was white to represent peace and simplicity. During the time of Guru Har Gobind, however, the Nishan Sahib changed into a shade of yellow, now popularly known as Basanti. After the creation of Khalsa, Guru Gobind Singh introduced blue flag, which is still the color of the Nihang flags. The first Sikh flags were plain, but emblems were introduced by Shri Guru Gobind Singh Ji. The first Sikh emblem was not the khanda, but the three weapons, the katar, dhal and kirpan. And later these emblems were also used by the Sikh Empire, as you can see in this painting of Guru Gobind Singh with his followers. The last Guru's imagery was very different. The original Nishan Sahib carried by Guru Gobind Singh Ji in the Katar, Dhal, Kirpan format had either a Ashtabhuja, Nangini, Barcha or Gajka used as a spear on top. The Nangini, Barcha or snake-like sword was created by Guru Gobind Singh Ji and famously used by Bhai Bachittar Singh to pierce the trunk of a drunken, armored elephant in the famous Battle of Nimolgarh. The Ashtabhuja is a spear with three crescents stuck to an iron rod with two spears coming out on top. And if you know, this Ashtabhuja is used by our own goddess Durga many times, but Durga does not hold any relevance in Sikhism and is only used for warfare. Guru Gobind Singh Ji's Ashtabhuja was found in Chamkaur, the place where his two sons were martyred and other two captured with his mother. Friends, the Gajgaha is the frontal headpiece made from steel. It represents the Shakti of Akal Purakh, the God. It is preserved and revered at Sachkhand Hazur Sahib, and the flag is simply wrapped around the top of the spear with two strings of fabric coming out of the tip. So much for the utterly smart Indian secular analysts who are going to town with the rectangular Khalistani flag and the sacred khanda. Khanda as a symbol that emerged only in the early 20th century and was adopted only by the North American Sikh immigrants, and it has absolutely no real spiritual origin. Now, do you see how these scums are trying to justify and whitewash the act of terrorism? How they are trying to create a false narrative? But let's not forget, friends, that the very act as we witnessed on Red Fort is unconstitutional, illegal, and it's an act of domestic terrorism. It's an act of war against the state of India, sponsored by Khalistani movement and the enemies of India like Pakistan and China. It can be CIA. You can't trust anyone, as India is an emerging superpower, and to derail its growth, it suits almost everyone. Friends, as all of us know well, that except for the tricolor or tiranga, no other flag can be hoisted on Red Fort. All the guilty must be punished. An example must be that nobody can play around with India's sovereignty. I am sure, like you, even Sikh gurus would want to defeat every single enemy of India, including these sinister, dangerous Khalistanis. My dear friends, today's report was made in association with great research work done by drishtikon.com. Please follow them and support them. They bring great newsletter. I Am Buddha works with various organizations, foundations, and young people for research. It requires lots of courage and lots of resources. In this war of dharma against the enemies of India, I request you very humbly to support us emotionally, morally, spiritually, socially, or if you want, financially. You can go to the details page and you can financially contribute to make us stronger and make our fight against adharmis stronger. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.